Welcome to another PC Sportscards PSA submission reveal. This is Josh with PC Sportscards, and we have a doozy for you today, guys. This was a bulk submission, 202 1.109. Had a typo on there. Didn't realize it till the end, so it's going to stay on there. This was submitted back in late February last year. Received about 2 months later on 4/14. Completed on 6/15. Just came back in the mail, so we decided to do a reveal with it. If you guys, if this is your first time watching our channel, we do reveals of orders coming back, orders going out, consignment orders, some how-to videos, basic thoughts on the hobby, all that kind of stuff. If you're into that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can get alerts. We have a 322 card order here today, so let me get started. As you can see, we have a topic on the top. How we do this is we talk about a few main topics in every submission while we're going through the cards. I don't know why it's so dark, but we'll make it a little bit brighter. There we go. So again, we have 322 cards here, so I don't want to spend too much time on anything individually, card-wise. If I see something cool or with a damaged card, see an issue, I will show you and see what I see, and show you what I see. Like a damaged card, meaning something got a low grade, not something that PSA damaged, but just something that got a lower grade. Big topic going on right now in the hobby is, has the hobby learned its lesson? Have you learned your lesson on what to submit? What I mean by that is, are you going to submit the cards that there's going to be 20,000 of, or do you want to submit the cards that there's going to be less than 1,000 of? What are you doing? What are you submitting? People think that everybody will learn their lesson. A lot of comments, oh, we learned our lesson. We're not going to submit those low-end cards. We're not going to do that anymore. And I have some examples of people just missing it, guys. Just straight, absolutely missing the boat on that. If you saw our reveal yesterday, you saw some people sending in some more of this Hoops Premium stock. Don't do it. You know, I make my money on you guys submitting cards, and I'm telling you not to do it. What does that say? What does that say? Don't do it. Look at the values. There's going to be thousands and tens of thousands of a lot of these cards submitted. We still have about 3 million cards in the backlog, of which, at least in my opinion, half plus are sport cards. So we're seeing people send in some cards. We have a perfect example in a little bit about that. Our second example is going to talk about is going to give a perfect comparison or a good comparison to what we're saying, and it's the card that everybody keeps on submitting. So I don't think people have really learned their lesson when it comes to submitting cards. I still have the feeling that people think that they're outsmarting other people, and I'm not saying all this so you don't send cards. Listen, I want you to send cards, but I want you to send cards that you can make money on, right? So, and a lot of people try to bash me when I say this. Like, we talk mostly here about using grading to A, increase your collection, or B, increase your wallet. And A is really increasing your wallet to increase your collection. Speculating on grading to make money from it to buy more cards. If we're talking about collecting cards and we're talking about a PC or a long-term investment type card, we're not talking about ultra modern cards, first of all. In general, we're just not talking about them, right? Especially these ones, especially bulk orders that were $15 a card. We're not talking about that. We're talking about more expensive cards when you're talking that way. So let's leave that out. Or we're talking about really inexpensive cards that we're going to hold until we think PSA comes out with a lower level. So we have some really, really good examples. We have an example of one of my least favorite cards ever graded coming up about how you pick what cards to send in. This is going to be a good one, guys. I hope you stick around for the whole thing. Our first topic here is Hoops Premium stock. People are still sending in Hoops Premium stock. 1,800 of this, and this is not one of Ja Morant's best cards, guys. $10 raw somehow. I saw some go for as low as $3 or $4, so I'm guessing this was $12.50, no shipping, using Card Ladder. $20 is a PSA 9. Seems actually strong for a PSA 9 on this card, considering the pop report, but PSA 10 is only $40. There's only one level that you could break even on this card right now. Only one level you can break even. That's insane. Do not send in Hoops Premium stock. Do not send in basic hoops. Do not send in base cards that are lower level cards. You are wasting your money. I had a conversation with somebody earlier about sending cards in and getting cards reviewed and all that good stuff. And I'm here to tell you, instead of sending a quantity of lower value, lower end cards and spending money for somebody to look at them and other nonsense like that, pick out less cards that are better and send those in so you can use that money to the best of your abilities and advantage, the most advantage to you as a collector, as a speculator, in all of those ways. Stop sending in the lower value cards unless you find that there's a availability for that, right? We have one example at the end of this that will show you there are still opportunities out there, right? With the lower end cards, there definitely are opportunities. Don't get me wrong, but you're not outsmarting somebody sending in base quarterbacks. You're not going to be the guy doing it. Somebody's doing it already. Other people are doing it. Too many people are doing it. Right now, we're getting about 1,000 to 2,000 views per video. Be in that smarter minority that is sending in cards that make more sense to take advantage of the market today. Be in the minority to take advantage of the market today. Don't follow what everybody else is doing, right? Like, I think some of these are good cards to send in. I'm not looking at the value. I'm not looking at it right now. He didn't play well. But at the time, this was a great card to send in. It's a retail short print variation, whatever you want to call it. Non-numbered parallel that has upside. Chase Claypool, another one. Great receiver. Good card to send in. These are good ones. Green Mosaic, non-numbered, but I bet it's a lower pop card. And the cost difference from this to a base card is negligible. But the amount that's going to be graded is great, right? Is somebody buying a green? Who knows? If it's a superstar, if it's a Jonathan Taylor and this gets a 10, that's a good card. He had a great year last year, right? We have to think smarter. Quarterbacks, yeah, they're great if you get the right ones and nobody else sending them in. But everybody's sending Jordan Love. Everybody's sending Jalen Hurts. Everybody's sending Joe Burrow. Everybody's sending Trevor Lawrence. Are you going to be the first one to get it back? Ooh, this got a 6. Let's see if we can find it. See if we can find it. I didn't look this card over prior. That's not going to do it. Nothing major that I see at a quick look. There's some bubbling over here. I don't know how serious it is without taking it out of the holder. I don't see like a wrinkle or anything that I would expect to see in it. Cam Akers. Of course, he got hurt before the season last year. Cam Akers 10. I like that card. I'm going to bet there's not a lot graded. Justin Jefferson, canvas. So at least it's not a base. We're looking at all parallels here. So this is a smart submitter. Trophy collection orange. Update Bo Bichette. Update Bo Bichette. Update Bo Bichette. We got a lot of these. I'm going to go fast when I see this kind of stuff. Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome Luis Robert. Luis Robert. Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome Update. We have a lot of these. I'm trying to get to our next comparison, which is going to prove that we haven't learned our lesson yet. This is the card that's proving we haven't learned our lesson. Well, this isn't the card, but this is last year's version of the card that will prove that this year's version is just going to be another disaster. And I've been tracking that card down. So we're trying to get to it. Pink Wave. Again, we're looking at parallels here. These are much better cards than just base cards to be sending in. Got a 5 here. Trent Grisham. Big crease going through right here. You probably can't see it on the camera. There you go. See it right under the light? Yep. Again, what do we always say? Look at the back first. Poisson, Bobby Witt. People still sending a lot of these cards in. Bobby Witt Chrome. Again, when we set these in February of 2021, we expected to be getting these back at the end of baseball season, not in the middle of the next baseball season. So I get why they sent them in. But be smart. Don't be sending in this year's version of Bobby Witt. Let somebody else be the one that's spending 30 or 40 bucks on it. Don't be the guy that's spending that kind of money on it right now. You could have been the first one spending $50. If you weren't ahead of the curve, don't chase. Do not chase it up because it's just going to start coming down. Guys, it's just going to start coming down. And this is the example that we got to. We're going to have a lot of information up there, fellas. Ladies and gents, we're going to have a lot of information up here. So, we got Joe Adele, 2,700 graded. 1,510, 1,009. That's solid. Back in February of last year, sold for $5 raw and $100 as a gem in May. So when this person sent this in February, they were one of the first to send it in, but they sent it at a slower rate. There's going to be a ton of these coming back. We're seeing 2,700 now. I'm going to bet this is going to be 4,000 or 5,000 by the time it's done. Right? Fast forward a year, Wander Franco, first PSA 10 was $380 in March. $380. Hell, I think the first one went for a fake $1,000. Who knows? But now, there's only 1,200 of them so far as PSA 10s, and it's down to 85. A month ago when I did a reveal, it was 125. Raw is like still 30, 40 bucks. I think. I could be wrong on that now. I hope it's less, but I could be wrong. It was 30, 40 bucks when it came out. I think it's like $3 or $4 now, actually, the last time I looked. So there is margin there. But in the next 2 or 3 months, it's going to be 75, then 65, then 55, then 45. The card is going to come down. Guess what, guys? You know how I know people didn't learn their lesson? People didn't learn their lesson because for the last 2 months, this Wander Franco card is the #1 submitted card at PSA. 2 months in a row. So people are spending $50 and now $30 to grade this Wander Franco card, not the Joe Adele. Ignore Joe Adele for a reason. Just look at the Wander Franco stats. They are just sending that card in more than any other card. Do not send it in also. It will be, even if you get a 10 on it, even if you get a 10, you are going to lose money. You cannot make money on that card right now. It is not possible. Do not do it. Save your money. Spend it on something else. Buy a parallel. Buy a gold foil. Buy a gold. Buy a rainbow foil. Buy some kind of color. Spend your money. Instead of getting 10 base cards, get one good card and grade that one if you think it's going to be a 10. Do not spend your money grading the base paper. If PSA opens a cheaper level, and I'm saying 15 bucks or less, like this submission was, if they open a cheaper level, 15 bucks or less, not even, maybe 20, but probably 15 bucks or less, then I would consider start sending it in. Because then at least you can make some money on the card. And if you want to collect it, guys, wait. You know why you should wait? Because 2,000 more, 1,000, 1,500 more of those cards are going to be coming back as PSA 9s and 10s. And if you want one, don't take the risk of your $30 or $50 right now. Just buy the card when it's in a 10 holder later on because it's going to come back down. That's just what's going to happen. First of all, he's not having the best year, right? But it's going to be an oversaturated market, and you could predict that when you see that PSA is coming out and telling us straight out that for 2 months in a row, the most submitted card was that Topps Wander Franco card. You don't be the follower. Be smarter than the people that are submitting that card. There is absolutely no reason to do it. No reason at all. If you guys disagree with me and you want to send it in, tell me why. Give us a comment. Remember, we try to make these as interactive as possible. This is going to be a long one. I'm trying to go fast, but it's going to take a while. I'm sorry. There's 322 cards. I got a lot to say. I'm trying to get done as fast as I can, but I just don't think we're going to get there. So, gonna go as fast as possible. You know, these were great cards to send in then. Now, who knows? As long as you got 10s on these, you made money. Here's another example of a horrible card that got sent in. I mean, Kobe White was just terrible this year. But it's an example of somebody that if you believe in him, and they're cheap right now, under $10 cheap, buy him. Buy him now. If you believe in him, if you think he will be the guy, and you believe in him, then buy it, right? If you don't believe in him, sell it right away. But there's no reason to, I thought I got a 10. I read this wrong, but whatever. We'll talk about it. So, are these an option? Are inserts an option? There's only 730 graded. It's still a rookie card. Is it a great card? No. Is it a $60 card as a PSA 10 in my mind? No. These were like $30 as a PSA 9 from what I saw. I don't know why I thought it was a 10. I read the sheet wrong that has all the grades. It's a low, 65% of them are 10s. So if you're decent at looking over cards, that's an option for $30. I would throw $30 at a Joe Burrow rookie like that. I don't know how many more of those are going to be in there. Even if that pop hits 1,000, you'll still be okay for $30. And the card coming back in football season, I think that's a fair risk to take. Even if it drops to $50, you make money, right? So I think that's a cool card to send in. If you could find like a silver or something. Generally, I don't like these kinds of cards to send in, but if you're looking for alternative submissions that you want to get inexpensive cards in, that's a decent one. I'm not hating that much on that card, on that insert specifically. Generally, I don't like inserts when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like these guys, Michael P. Ryan, like that's terrible. Brandon Ayuk, my boy, my silver ASU boy. Henry Ruggs, well, that didn't work out so well, huh? I feel like if I hit the explosion, that would be unkind, so I'm not going to do it. Here's an example, guys. Prism baseball, don't send it. Prism baseball is like sending in collegiate basketball. Don't do it. Vlad update. Carter Kaiboom update. Again, if you thought he was going to be something, it makes sense for $15. You could speculate at that number, not a $30 or $50 card. Like none of these are cards that I would send in at $30 or $50. Like we're talking about our options now. This was obviously sent in last year. Again, guys, I'm trying to go through some of the cards quickly so we could get to all the topics that I want to talk about, and trying to keep this as short as concise as I can. Not as short as I can, as concise as I can. Hiora, I like Hiora, or I liked him. Kevin Biggio. Another guy that came out hot and hasn't really done much recently. Arias reminded me a little bit of Altuve when I looked at his numbers, so I liked him. I don't know how he's doing this year. Again, guys, we're trying to talk about where you can make money. Look at these cards. This is why PSA is backed up. People are sending these in. You don't need to be sending these in, right? I will tell you that if you are the first person to send them in and you get them back first, there's money to be made. But we're already looking at 2019 Topps Chrome cards. These have been sent in droves, right? And this was sent in 2021, number 4. Alonzo. Should I be stockpiling for a lower level? Guys, these are the types of cards of superstars, right? Alonso's counted as a superstar now. If you can find Alonzo rookies, Vlad rookies, Tatis rookies, Judge rookies. If you can find those kinds of guys, if you're talking other sports, you're looking at running back, wide receivers, quarterbacks even, cheaper guys, this is a great card to stock up on. There's going to be money if we get a $15 or $20 level. I think that we've seen a big enough increase in the market, and in general, right, Trout, perfect example. This is probably $2 raw, $30, $35 a PSA 10. No, it's not a Grand Slam. But you're going to look at pop reports that look like this, that have 75 to 80% as PSA 10s. You're going to look at those, and you're going to be like, well, I know how to look over a card, and I can get 10s on these, and there's money, right? The whole game, which it was before 2021, buy cards for $2 to $5, grade them for $10 to $15, or $7 back then, or $8, right? Sell them for $35 or $40. Making 15 or 20. As long as you go 75%, you cover 65 to 75%, you cover your mistakes with profit, reinvest your profit into better cards, and keep that snowball rolling. So, yes, now, knowing that PSA already opened up the $30 level, it's time to start stockpiling cards that you think make sense at a lower level, right? Because if you're not going to send it at 30, who cares? At some point, they're going to probably open something less expensive. Don't know when, don't know what. But at some point, they're probably going to do it. And once that happens, you have the opportunity to then send it in, because when it happens, guess what? When it happens, it's going to be after we know what the mass pop report is, and nobody right now at $30 is sending in that Pete Alonso card. They're waiting. They're waiting for 10, 15. I don't think 10 is even possible, but they're waiting for $15, $20. And once the $15 or $20 range comes out, and we see the bottom, right? We're not going to see, since we're not going to have droves and droves of these cards coming back, since we're already going to have all of them out of grading because the backlog will be completed, we're going to see the opportunity to say, hey, this is at $28 still, and he had another all-star season. I could buy it for $2, spend $15, get it back probably before next baseball season, and sell it for $30. There's profit there. I could build something there. And guys, just so you know, my little pitch here will help you with all of it. All you got to do is send us the cards for grading, hit that grade to consignment button, and we'll take care of it all, and you'll just get money at the end, right? All you got to do is visit our website, check it out, right? And we'll do all the work for you with all the bookkeeping on the back end through our website. So that's our main business, is running your grading and selling business. That's what we do. And we do it better than anybody else. There's no question about it. No doubt in my mind, we do it better than anybody else. We're seeing a lot of mid-type names. Here we go. Darius Baisley. He was the next topic. But when you're buying those low-end cards, stick to superstars. Darius Baisley, not a superstar, right? PSA 10 of this card is $12.50. PSA 10. Raw is like $2. If you like Darius Baisley, well, I'm saying stick to stocking up on him. There's 7,500 of these graded. Darius Baisley. That's crazy. Right? That's insane. You don't want to be the next person grading Darius Baisley. You want to be grading the guy that's going to take over. Right? Take over for a team. But if you believe in Darius Baisley, buy his PSA 10s. They're $12. Right? If you believe in him and you think that he's going to come back around, everybody's going to sell him. Right? So if he does something, you'll be the guy that has him. Same with the next guy up, which is Kobe White. Right? You'll be the guy that has him. Here's the jaw card that everybody loves in bronze, which is super rare, in a 6. And it's in a 6, very obvious, stood out right away. That bottom corner is absolutely trashed. Tough to tell. Tough to tell in the camera, but that bottom corner is trashed. Topps Luis Robert. All right. So we're sticking to buying superstars. If we're speculating on somebody low end, buy PSA 10s, which they're going to be super cheap at this point. We're getting through this as fast as we can, as concise as we can. Good Gavin Lux card. My favorite card. My favorite example of why you shouldn't be grading some base cards is coming up really soon. Here it is. Here's my card. Oh, not that button. That button. 99.33% PSA 10 or better. PSA 9 or better. 99.33% PSA 9 or better. And that's not a small sample size. That's out of 20,000 cards. Over 80% are PSA 10s. Whoever got the 2, the 3, and the 4s, you knew there was a problem with that card. 5, 6, and 7s, you knew there was a problem with that card. 8s, you probably knew. 9s, sorry, you missed out that time. But look at all those PSA 10s. 99.33%. That is amazing. Guys, look at the pop report. The pop report is going to tell you where your opportunities are. And you don't need to look at individual players' pop reports. What we'll show you with the next one that's coming up is that you could do your search by looking at the PSA pop report in general for a set. And once you look at that pop report in general for a set, you will know that you could look down to see what superstars there are that are undergraded or have even more of a variation in grades, where you could take advantage of that pop report if you are good at looking over cards, right? So this goes back to the old thing that we were talking about for a while. Do not pay somebody to look over your cards. Teach yourself how to do it. And yes, it's going to be expensive, but take 10 cards. Take 10 cards that are good, right? That you think are worth grading. Send them in at $30 or $50. Yes, it's going to cost you $500, but you're going to learn. That $500 or $300 investment in yourself will save you money in the long term. Don't pay somebody to do it. Learn how to do it yourself. You can teach yourself. You don't need somebody to walk you through it. You don't need somebody to do it for you. You can look over cards yourself. It is not hard. It is definitely not rocket science. You can do it. I have friends that have horrific vision, absolutely terrible vision, and they could do it. All you need to do is learn. Buy some PSA 10s that are cheap. Darius Baisley, crack them out. Buy some PSA 9s that are cheap. Crack them out. Look them over. See what's wrong with them. See why they got a 10. Say, oh look, this has one white corner and it could still get a 10. Oh look, this has this many surface marks and it still got a 10. Look, this one I looked over before, I think. I don't know. I looked one of these over before. But, yeah, there's a big crease going through here. You can't see it, though. You can teach yourself. It is not difficult to do. Great opportunity here. 7? Opportunities still exist. How do I find them? This is what I'm talking about, guys. This got a 9, right? Of these cards, guess what? 60% of Justin Jefferson's cards get a 9 of his Prism. 71,000 out of 129,000 Prism cards. Oh, this is the one I looked over. 71,000 out of 130,000 got a PSA 9. Only 47 out of 130,000 almost got a 10. That's an opportunity if you know what you're doing. Don't buy all the cards. Say you buy them raw and somebody's like, because most people that are looking over cards will tell you if it's a 9 or better. So guess what? This card is going in. That Justin Jefferson card is going in, right? That card's not being kicked because it's going to be a 9 or better. Guess what? We said this in one of our last videos. 92% of cards that go in are 9s or better. Why are you paying somebody to tell you the obvious? Why are you paying somebody to tell you the obvious and then lose you more money because you're going to send it in and you'll be like, oh, well, you told me it was good, so I sent it. A 9 is not your goal anymore. You're going to lose money with 9s in general, guys. You are not making money anymore with 9s. Get that out of your head. Be lucky if you break even with a 9. The market is coming back to what it used to be. Teach yourself to look them over. You could do it. I have faith in you. You can do it. And our last topic is Wander Franco. So lower prices equal lower volatility. We talked about this yesterday. We'll talk about it again today. As prices go down, volatility goes down because there's just so much more it can go down. As prices go up, volatility goes up because there's so much more for it to go down, right? So this, I don't know how this is still a $100 card with 12,000 graded. Price has come down from 130 140. I think price is going to continue to come down. I would not send this card in at $30 right now because I think we're going to get a lot of these back. I think that 16,000 becomes 20,000 by the time, at least 20,000 by the time the backlog is complete. But since it's only $30 to grade, probably not going to make money. But I would hold it because that's the kind of card that if I could start picking that card up for 30, 40, 20, 30, 40 bucks while it goes down, I might grade that for 15 or 20. With all the cards that are out there, I probably would stick to refractors and colors. I probably would avoid that one. But if you have them in, you did well. You still did well. I think. I don't know what you paid for them. A lot of this is actually starting to tell me that that it might be time to start ripping some stuff for myself again. That's a cool card. So those are our main topics. I really want to drive some points home again. I think that people should be buying these 9s, these 8s, right? If you don't know how to evaluate a card, buy some off grades. You could buy a lot of different cards very cheap right now in 8s, 9s, and 10s to teach yourself. That might be the right way to do it instead of trying to send everything in and learn that way and wait 6 months to get them back. It might be better to send them in, watch our video on how to crack cards out, crack them out, look them over, because you'll see more things when they're not in the slabs. Crack them out and teach yourself what you can get away with. That's a cool card, right? And once you learn that, and you'll spend less money doing that than you will having somebody else evaluate cards for you. And you'll spend less money doing that having somebody else evaluate cards for you and tell you that 9s are good to send in, because that's absolute horseshit. So I hate that. I hate that people don't, like, when we did it, when we used to do stuff like that, it was for VGS, and we would break down as far as subgrades. I'd be like, I think this is a 9.5, this is a 9, this is a 10, this is a 9.5. And very few times did I say something's going to be a 10, but very often I said it was going to be a 9.5 or kick it, because back then, even when grading was $7 or $8 a card, it wasn't worth getting a 9, right? It wasn't worth it. We're back to that, which is fine. That's good for the hobby. But A, learn the lesson. That's the first thing we talked about. Learn the lesson. Don't send in all these base cards, especially off-brand base cards. There's going to be thousands and thousands sent in. Don't be the one doing it, because if you're the one doing it, you're just burning money. Number 2, there's still opportunities out there. You have to learn how to look at the pop report and do some research. Once you can do that, the world is your oyster. You can make decisions on what you want to buy, and then add the third step to it, knowing how to look over cards, right? And once you have all 3 things, which are all easily teachable and all easy to do, and easy isn't even relative. This is easy, right? Anybody could do this. I think I could teach my 4-year-old son how to do it. Like, that's how easy a lot of this stuff is. Once you could do that, all you need to do is find the person that's going to help you grade the cards and sell the cards. And that's what we're here for. You don't have to use us if you don't want to, but I think we're better at it than anybody else. Glaber. So, I know this was a long video. I'm actually going to try to have some of these broken up into short 1-minute or less segments to go onto YouTube Shorts, because I think people would like that. I may go through some of this stuff again and do single shorts as it to add that. If you agree, disagree, let us know. Comment. We respond. We're happy to respond. We want to keep the conversation going. If you like this video, like videos like it, hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell to get alerts. We put these up every day. We put up videos every single day. You know, that's what our goal is here. Our goal is to put up videos so you could see what's going on. You could see what's coming back. You could see what's going out. Again, Elite Baseball. I'm not grading this stuff. Mike Trout, Donruss Baseball. Not grading that. On Demand. So I really appreciate you guys watching these and commenting. It means a lot. I spent a lot of time to put these videos together, so it means a lot that you guys actually care and watch the whole thing. And I'll look forward to putting together some more for you this week and answering some questions. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys have yourselves an absolutely great Wednesday. Or whatever day you're watching this.